back, surfers. This is the third installment of the new format of the show, Coaching Concepts, which you see as CC in your feed. So these are short episodes under 10 minutes designed to give you one thing to think about during your next surf. And this one is on reading waves. In particular, during your next surf, think about reading the bottom of the wave. I'll let Clayton explain why. Intro, outro music is by John Swift.
Yeah, so Michael, this is something that takes a bit of experience. So I often ask people, and this is more geared towards, I'd say, intermediates for now. Have you ever had a wave where you've done a bottom turn, you're looking up the lip and you're expecting to do a real nice top turn, and as you get there, the wave just peters out and goes flat, like poof. Or the reverse, you're anticipating a real nice up off the top, and as you get to the top, the wave just pitches and you get flung over the falls and absolutely obliterated, blown up. So where were they looking both times? So they were looking at the top half of the wave, yet they read it incorrectly. So then I asked them this question: have you ever paddled into a wave and you look down and that wave is just drawing hard off the bottom, it's going, and there's a lot of water moving quickly up the face, and they just get nervous, they put the brakes on, they pull out like, and the wave just goes. Where did they look that time?
And they didn't go over the falls, you mean,
Yeah.
right? They did the right thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they looked down. So without even looking at the top half of the wave, they could anticipate what that wave was going to do 3 seconds in the future. So you can take off in a wave and look at the bottom of it and read how much draw is sucking off the bottom and where that's about to happen. And if you get that correct, you'll be able to pinpoint where you should be doing your top turn. But most people surf mid-face and they don't go to the bottom. So they're not looking there. So they misread the top half of the wave as to what turn you should do and when you should do it. Now, you know, visually, if you look at something, you can read into it. But if you feel something, you'll understand it way better. So one step better than even looking at the bottom is to go down and actually to lean over and try to get your hand on the wave face and feel how much energy and how much lift and draw that wave has pulling up the face. And that there will give you a clear indication of whether that lip's going to barrel, whether it's soft enough that you can go up and actually connect with a re-entry, or if it's going to be soft and perhaps go for a roundhouse cutback. So yeah, read away from the bottom.
Okay. So when you look at the bottom of the wave, there's enough information there to tell you what's going to happen when that water gets to the top.
Yeah. So let's break a wave down into more, let's call it scientific, but just simple stuff. So the top half of the wave where you drop in, that's the point where your speed originates from. And the further down you go, the faster you go. So if you only drop halfway down, you're only going to get half the amount of speed. But if you go all the way down to the bottom, that's where you're going to get the most amount of speed from. And also the shortest distance between the 2 points determines how quickly you get your speed. So if you're going halfway, facing mid-face down the line, you're only going to tap into half that wave's potential speed. Now what happens at the bottom, as close to the foam as possible, that's where the wave is actually drawing water back up the face, and that's where the wave has the most amount of power. So what we do when we surf, when we drop in with speed, if our board is able to fit into the curve of the wave, we want to go in a straight line right down to the most powerful part of the wave, lean over in a bottom turn, and try tap into all that power that's drawing up the face. And the leaning over makes us weightless, and tapping into that power almost lifts us up to the top half of the wave. And if we just add a little bit of technique into that and actually throw both our hands and coordinate a lift movement, we will effortlessly get drawn up to the top half of the wave and reconnect with that speed power zone off the top. Now what we want to do, we want to try to join the speed and power as close above each other as possible. So the more turning we're doing in a figure eight motion, the more effortlessly we are surfing. So in other words, the more flow we have. And we're also tapping into speed and power with flow. Hence, we're surfing to our judging criteria of speed, power, and flow.
And that's top to bottom surfing, which is what we all want to do.
Rail to rail, top to bottom surfing.
Okay. By reading the bottom of the wave, you're predicting, not even predicting, you're learning what's going to happen at the top of the wave, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So by getting better at it, you're not going to learn to read the bottom of the wave unless you start looking there.
So what it does, and this is what's so fantastic about it, it calms you down. Because now I can anticipate sections, and the bottom is telling me how fast or how slow to move. As soon as I can anticipate what's going to happen, I can start to relax. And the more I relax, the faster my body reacts to situations. So not only do I have more time, but I've got more energy and coordination in doing the movements that I need to do.
I mean, Curran's a great example, isn't it? And when he's dropping down into a wave, he's not looking down the line to see what the lip's doing on the next section. He's reading the bottom of the wave. He's looking in front of his surfboard.
And what that's also doing is it's centering him in the moment that he's in. He's not looking down the line and trying to surf in the future and trying to anticipate what's going to happen in that future. He's actually feeling and processing the movement in the moment, and he's reacting to that moment, which makes his surfing look timeless.
Run, run, river, carry me to my home in the ocean, carry me away. I know I have a home somewhere far, and we'll move like the stars that make you feel like you got friends. Stars will make you feel like you got friends. Follow the empty valley, past the hills, to the marshes of the estuary, calm and peaceful river. In the light of the moon, with the river, I do run in the hope that one day I will dive beneath the ocean.